Hey everybody! So I have had a ton of people request a video about how I budget and how I paid off approximately $11,000 in my debt in 5 months. I am not an expert in any way. The beginning of this year, I sat down with my husband and I said, I wanted to make our year to pay off as much or all of our debt as possible, consumer debt. So right now I'm not focusing on our mortgage, although I'll get to our mortgage thing in a few minutes. And to begin that, I purchased one of these Erin Conran monthly planners. And with the monthly planner, you just get, it's literally what it says. It's monthly. It has the monthly view, and then the new ones have more pages in between, but mine's the older version from last year, so you get just lined paper in between. And my first step was I watched so many budgeting YouTube videos. I became so obsessed with it. I was already couponing, so we were saving a ton of money that way. I decided that I needed a side hustle, so before the end of last year, I started my Instagram couponing page, and yes, we do get paid to post as long as people, click our links and buy something, or they can just click and we'll get like 6 cents a click. And as long as you have a large following and you have people who follow you or, are very loyal to you and click your links, we do make money off it. And I could show you my variable spread in this also. But that's not my only side hustle. I also have Etsy, which I do. So at the beginning, or at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, my Etsy business was going great. And then the whole world literally stopped. And people weren't buying because they didn't need what I sold, I guess. So, that's a long story to say we started our debt-free journey in January. Now, the first thing that I did was made sure that we had $1,000 saved in our checking account. We already had that, so we added another $1,000. That's just emergency fund. It's very helpful if you don't have like sinking funds, which I do not have sinking funds right now because I'm focusing so much on paying off debt. So the sinking or the emergency fund is, if your car breaks down and you need to fix that, you'll have that $1,000 to back you up. And that's one of the most important things. Always make sure you have $1,000 in your savings account. And no matter what, put $20 towards that. $20 towards it. $20 more towards it. It won't take you very long to get to $1,000. But that's my number one tip. So we started out with $1,000 in our savings account. And then on January 1st, what I did is I went through and I made an entire list of all of our debts. So this is quite embarrassing to me. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are way more in debt than me. But this is where you realize where you are in life as far as debt. Because it is so easy just to pay bills on payday or how you pay them and just move on with life and just spend money and then live for your next paycheck. But what I did is I sat down, I took every single account that we had that was consumer credit related. So of course my mortgage is not on here. And I wrote down my debt. And how I did it is I started with the smallest balance all the way up to the largest balance. And then I wrote down our monthly payment. And then I wrote down our APR. You can do this in one of two ways. You can do it like the way I did with the smallest to the largest, or you could do it with the highest APR to the smallest APR. Because you can either pay off starting with the smallest balance, or you could pay off starting with the highest APR. That is completely up to you. I'm all over the place when it comes to paying things off. So this was our snapshot of January. And there's our total, how much we're paying a month for our debt. Like I said, our mortgage is not included in this because this is like consumer debt. Now, we snapshot to, let's see, what month are we in? We're in June. To June, and look how small my list got. So now, what has happened is our largest debt actually moved up the list because we paid more off on it. I paid off my car. I paid off my highest APR credit card because when I was getting those statements and paying 24% for a credit card, most of my payment was going towards the interest rate on it, and I was furious. So a payment was $200, but $125 of it was going towards interest. So I was not seeing that come down fast enough for me. So with that being said, once you pay something off, you can do the snowball effect. So as you see in January, I paid off my car and I paid off my credit card. So we take these two payments, and every month these two payments will go towards another debt. And I've been taking those two payments and putting it towards this credit card because it has a higher balance and it's my next highest APR. That's just what I do. A lot of people who do the snowball method, they will take whatever they've paid off, the monthly payment for that will be extra money, and they take that and they put it towards their next smallest balance so that this gets paid off faster. And then they'll take this $75.66 plus their previous amounts and put it towards the next balance. And you see how you just continue down the line, continue down the line, continue down the line until eventually all of your debt's gone. That is called the snowball method. Like I said, I am not perfect at all when it comes to budgeting. I have had my downfalls. As you see, we borrowed against my husband's 401k years and years and years ago because I was horrible with money, and you know, I'm making up for that. And I'm owning up to responsibilities, and I don't want this debt anymore. I want a better life for myself and for my children. So, as you see right now, here's our balance as far as consumer credit compared to in January. So, that is how I've paid off almost $11,000 in debt between the snowball method, also being real with yourself when it comes to your budget. Now, I'm not showing you my husband's paychecks because that's personal. I don't care if you know how much I pay with all my bills, but as far as like how much my husband brings home, that's completely personal to me. I don't feel like sharing that with you. I don't mind sharing with you what I bring home in variable income, so we'll get to that also. So what I do, these stickers are actually in my Etsy shop. I make these stickers. This is how I do my budgeting. and these stickers help. I know the Budget Mom has a workbook, and actually I have her workbook, and I've just never used it because I went right into this kind of budgeting. And it's along the same way. You want a zero-based budget. Mine is a little looser, where I have an estimate of how much I want to put towards savings and how much I want to put towards debt. So that's where mine's a little different than the zero-based budget. And I always have a cushion in my checking account. So we'll get to that. What I do is I write down when my husband's going to get paid, how much his estimate, his normal paycheck is. My husband is not salary. He is hourly. He is a lineman. So he gets a ton of overtime, which helps us, especially during hurricane season. He is continually rolling in some overtime. That helps us a whole lot. So I'll put down the estimate income, which is a normal paycheck with no overtime, which seldom happens. Thank you, Lord. I will put down his actual, what he brought home, and then if his paycheck was more or less than I had anticipated. This is what I do at the beginning of every single month. And then what I do is I write down my bills. My fixed expenses are all my bills. I know exactly how much they're going to be every single month, no matter what. And I write them all down here. My variable expenses are my groceries, my gas, my eating out. I have an other budget and I have an unbudgeted. These things usually change. That's why I have a budgeted, an actual, and if it was more or less than what I had budgeted for. So with the way that I pay bills, every single paycheck, no matter what, I will pay the same bills with one paycheck, and then the following paycheck, I will pay another set of bills. I have done this since we were married 15 years ago. We got an account together. This is how I learned how to budget from my mother. You pay this group of bills with one paycheck, this group of bills with another paycheck. By starting this, you have to look at when your bills are due each month. If you don't already do this system, if you are someone who just pays your bills as you get them, then you're going to have to rework your system, find out when the due date is for your bills, write them down. You can do them from the 1st to the 31st. Look at when you get paid. These bills I can do every month around this time. These bills I can do every month around this time. And let me tell you, this system has allowed me and my husband to get months ahead on some of our bills. Because there are months, he gets paid bi-weekly. So there are 2 months out of the year where he'll get 3 paychecks. And a lot of people say, well, that third paycheck is for fun. It is not for fun with us. It's not fun money. I still pay our bills with that paycheck. I don't go out and waste it, or, I mean, you could use it to pay off some debt if that's what you want. I still pay my bills no matter what. So if the third paycheck comes up, if he was to get a third paycheck this month, the first and third paycheck would be these bills right here, the electric, Suddenlink, Sprint, Kubota, Navient, all that. These would get paid with the first and third paycheck, no matter what, even if they weren't due. That's the reason for this line right here. You see my electric? I had a $700 credit on my electric account because for the past 14 years that we've lived here, that's what happened. I would just pay even if it wasn't due. My credit got so large. I chose to skip a few months, and I'm going to take this and put it towards my debt instead. Our electric bill is about $150 a month since we've gotten our new AC unit. So almost $700 is going to last us a few months before I have to start paying that again. The same goes with our mortgage. Our mortgage, I am 3 months ahead, and every extra payment that you make, shaves off some time on your mortgage length. That usually works if you are making a mortgage payment at the beginning of the month and then you make the extra one at the end of the month and put it towards the principal. But it's still the same thing. I'm 3 months ahead of my mortgage. My cell phone bill, I always have a $400 credit on my cell phone bill. I've been able to buy brand new phones with that credit because I have continually just paid even if it wasn't due. So those are the few things that I would pay even if it wasn't due. And I'd like to see the credit. Our water is the same way. The only, let's see, like my BrickSeek, which I use for my Instagram business, that comes out automatically, so it doesn't work for automatic payments. I like to physically pay my bills online. I like to write down the confirmation numbers. I'm very anal like that because I don't want somebody coming back and saying you didn't make a payment. So that's what I do. So that's how I budget. And I would rather a company owe me money than me owe a company money. So I hope that makes sense. I really do hope that makes sense. And this has always worked out for us. We've added in the kids' allowance. We have 2 daughters. They get $40 every 2 weeks each. So this is something we just really started adding in. Our kids are teenagers, and I'm trying to teach them good money manners also. So that's why we are doing this. Okay, as far as our groceries, what you want to do is look at your family size. Approximately how much do you spend a month? This is my monthly view. So how much do you spend a month on groceries? Do I spend $100 a month on groceries? I spend way more than $100 a month on groceries. So this isn't my typical month because our county, every single child that was in the school district got pandemic food stamps. So my groceries are taken care of for at least 2 months, maybe even more. So we were lucky enough, every single child in our school district got them. And it's such a little blessing. It helps so tremendously. Also with my groceries is my household. I do not spend a whole lot on household items such as laundry detergent, toothpaste. I am a couponer, and that's the whole reason why I started couponing. Do you know, I mean, you save a crap ton of money by couponing because you get a lot of that stuff for free. It's just, it mind boggles me that people don't coupon, but to each their own. Gas, $120. That is probably high. My husband drives his work truck home. If we go anywhere, we take my car. My car is a hybrid, so it doesn't eat gas that much. So if we have money left over, I just roll it over for the following month. Eating out is where I am horrible at. I cannot stand cooking. I could bake. I love baking, but I cannot stand cooking. And if I just have a bad day, I'm like, you know what? I'm not cooking. And my husband's worked a very long 10+ hour day. I'll just get something to eat for dinner. Other is like if my husband wants a drink while he's at work, or our pool supplies, anything like that. Anything that doesn't fall under groceries, gas, or eating out and goes under other. This is where a sinking funds would be great. But like I said, I haven't started sinking funds, and it's okay. When I get to the sinking fund stage, I'll be so excited because then I'll be putting away for Amazon Prime and our pool and our insurance for our cars and registration fees for our vehicles every year. All of that annual stuff that sneaks up on you, you put in your sinking funds, and it's no big deal. So after I have my monthly view, after I look at, okay, this is how much I'm expecting him to bring home every month. Here is my fixed expenses. Here's my variable ones. I still haven't laid down my stickers down here for the final when I close my budget out. So you can see how much money you'll have left over to put towards debt or savings. Or right now I'm kind of doing 50-50-ish because I want to build up our savings even more. But a lot of people, they just throw it all towards debt. That's up to you. So then I break down every paycheck. My husband got paid. He got 5 hours overtime. That was about $145.50 more in his paycheck. I don't really know if 5 hours overtime was right. I think he probably got less overtime. I have to check with him on that. So, paycheck 1, I paid the electric. Oh, I did not pay the electric because we have a balance. The Sunlink, my Sprint, our lawnmower, my student loan, all this. It came to $860.20. Now, I went over here and I wrote down my variable expenses for my groceries, gas, eating out, other. This will never change. Every paycheck you do, it'll be $60 for gas, $140 for eating out, $100 for other, and this should be $50 for groceries, but I wrote 0. And unbudgeted, you can put in a budgeted amount for unbudgeted, like $10, but I never do. And so that came to $300. I want to put about $250 into savings, and then I'll write my actual down. And then I want to put more than that towards a debt with just this paycheck. But that, and then I like to have a good $100 to $200 buffer in my account. And then what I'll do is I'll take that buffer, and once my husband gets paid again or I put money into our account, I will use that buffer to add to one of my debts. So paycheck 2 will go right here. And then what I do every week to keep me in check is I track our expenses like this, and I use this system right here. Each color has one of my variable expenses on it. You see, we have groceries and gas and eating out and other and unbudgeted. Anything that I put here, I track on my monthly view with my stickers. So I can look back and say, last Thursday, we ate out a lot. That needs to stop. Since then, we've ate out 3 more times. And then we have a lot of other expenses for like Lowe's, UPS, and I write down exactly where it is and how much. And I stick it on here. And my goal every single month is to have 12 no-spend days. And I track that by using these no-spend stickers, which I have in my shop. So if I have 12 no-spend days, I'm a happy camper. Let's see if I can find a month that I did that. Like here's April. I had no 12 spend days. I tracked my paydays, my husband's paydays, my paydays for Etsy, and then I used no spend stickers to track no spend days. So that is how I keep track of this. Usually what I do is after I make a purchase, if we go out, I'll come home and I'll immediately stick my stickers down so that I don't forget. A lot of people use these mini Happy Planner, and they'll write down like their categories, so groceries and what they budget for that paycheck or that month, I guess. So it'd be like $150, and they'd write down the date, the store, and the amount. And then what you do is I do weekly check-ins. You don't have to do this. This is optional, but this is what keeps me in check with my budget. Weekly check-ins do, and I do them every Thursday to Wednesday. You can do them Sunday to Monday. You can do them however you want. That's completely up to you. I just do them every Wednesday or every Thursday to Wednesday because my husband will get paid on a Thursday. So that way, when I add an amount, it starts on that Thursday. With my weekly check-in, I write down, these are also stickers in my shop. I write down the week. So week 1 was the 1st through the 4th. You can see that I slacked hard on actually filling this in, which I need to go do after this is done. And what I'll do is I'll take my grocery stickers and I will add them all up. So my grocery stickers are my pink ones. So for the 1st through the 4th, I had 2 stickers. So I'll add up my pink ones, put them here, and anything from last month that I rolled over will be my remaining number. And you do that for each category. This month I have 5 weeks in my weekly check-in, and like I said, the new Erin Condren has more pages, so this will be so much easier for everyone who does it like this, because when you have 5 weeks, you gotta like, what am I eliminating? If you don't have a 5th week, you can make this a results section. Let's see my results section. You see that? I was over budget a lot. See, I told you I'm not perfect. So with this results section, you just add up how much you spent. I spent $329 on groceries this month, $89 on gas, $308 on eating out, $162 on other, and I had no unbudgeted expenses. An unbudgeted expense to me would be like if someone passed away and you were sending flowers to the funeral, if Target was having a humongous sale and I just splurged and bought myself something, or if Coach was having a huge sale and I splurged. And now that's how I keep track of my entire budget. I like doing it, and I think to be successful, you have to stick to it, and you have to like seeing your numbers. Do I like seeing red numbers? Do I like seeing I'm in the negative on groceries or something? No, but the fact of the matter is, as far as grocery goes, I need to feed my family. So going over in the grocery budget is not a huge deal. Eating out, we do not need to eat out. So going over in the eating out category is alarming. And that's something that I would need to look at and reevaluate in my life, in myself. Gas, you need gas for your car. Going over, not the biggest deal. That's why you have a buffer in your account. But if you continually go over in groceries and gas every single month, then you need to reevaluate your budget. So that's what I have to say about that. As far as variable expenses, I do have a section for that as well. This is my side hustle money. This is the money that I help bring in, the money that basically all my side hustle money goes towards our debt payment, because my husband's check pays for all the bills in the house plus extras, and we can live off my husband's paycheck, thankfully, with no issue. We've done it for years. I wanted to do little side hustles just to help the family because I wanted to pay off debt. That's why I do everything that I do, is to pay off debt. That is my main goal. So, of course, Etsy, I get paid every Tuesday. I don't expect anything because things have been slow as molasses on my Etsy store. I haven't been promoting it very well. I just, I do get orders, but I need to get back into promoting it. I've been putting so much work into trying to build my YouTube channel and throwing all of my extra time into finding deals and all that. So I've got to prioritize my time better as far as my side hustle front. But I mean, if you don't have to have an Etsy shop if you sell stuff in Mercari or anything like that. That's a variable income. Variable income is something that changes every month. You don't expect it. That's why it's variable. One month it could be $150 for 1 week in Etsy. The next week it could be nothing. So that's why it's variable. And then my affiliate links, which I use for my Instagram account, I do get paid per click. Or if you buy something with Amazon, if you buy something, it's literally 1% of whatever you buy. So you're helping a girl out by clicking my links to pay off debt. If you want to start your own side hustle, I do have a video about it. Anybody can have affiliate links. Anybody can make that side hustle money. Believe me, when I was first trying to look into how to bring extra money in the house without actually having to work outside of the house, and that's just personal reasons, and I'm not getting into that, I was like, all these blogs are just, yeah, right, I can't make money sitting at home and online and passively and like what I'm doing. That's just, it doesn't exist. But it does, actually. It really does. It's building up your brand, which Saving with Seymour is my brand. That is my name on Etsy. That is my name on Instagram. That is my name on YouTube. Should I have been more creative with Etsy? I mean, whatever. I literally make like cash envelopes on Etsy. The whole point is to save money. So, Saving with Seymour. I make budgeting stickers. So, you're saving with Seymour. And then any transactions that I make using any money from this account will go down here. The date, the amount, the description. I do have sinking fund stickers. I have stickers for variable income. I have payday stickers for 1 through 5 if you get paid weekly. I sell all of that stuff in my shop, as well as I do sell payday stickers. I don't think I have any cut out right now. I sell no spend stickers. I sell my expense trackers. So if you're interested in getting started, you can check out my shop. As well as I'll have a link for the Erin Condren website if you want to pick up one of these notebooks to get started. But the first step into getting started is really making yourself very aware of all the debt that you have and writing it down. And that can be so scary, because when I saw we were close to $40,000 in debt, I wanted to cry. We've been further into debt years and years ago, and I wasn't using the system, and we just paid things off. And I was like, all right, well, let me pay this off. But writing it down every single month and having it in your face, discussing it with your significant other, is so eye-opening. Having things on paper. I'm a paper and pen girl. You can do this in a spreadsheet if that's what you want. But having it in your face, every single time I go do my budget, I have my numbers in my face so that it's real. So that I'm not going out and frivolously buying purses and shoes and whatever. If you want a budget, if you want a category for that, that's up to you. You can make your categories for anything that you want. But my bills come before fun. And then after my bills comes groceries and gas, because those are two things that you need. Recently, this is what I want to add also. If you have a mortgage, I would definitely look into your interest rate. When we bought our house, our interest rate was 5.75%, which wasn't horrible, and that was 14 years ago. No, it wasn't 14 years ago. It was 12 years ago. It was 12 years ago we bought our house. And we got it for 5.75%. We got it just as the market was going back up. And during the pandemic, interest rates for houses went down. So we've refinanced our house at 3% at a 15-year rate, which knocked 3 years off our mortgage. And our mortgage only went up $6 more a month. Most people, when they refinance, they're trying to lower their monthly payment, which is when my husband and I tried to refinance, or went into the process of refinancing, we wanted to lower our payment. But when the mortgage lender said, hey, at 15 years, you're only adding $6 more to your payment, but you're saving $30,000, plus you're paying it off 3 years earlier, I said yes. I mean, $6 more a month is not a big deal in my budget. If you just bought your house and you have enough equity or not even equity, but like if you have enough to be able to refinance your house and you want to lower your interest rate, then you might want to look into that. I'm thinking prices of houses are starting to go up, so the APR is going to start going up. We hit it right at the beginning of the pandemic when the interest rates were at the lowest that they would go. We waited as long as possible for them to go as low as they could go because my husband kept reading up on them, and they said, well, they might be at negative numbers, which I don't know how that works. I don't even believe that works that way, but whatever. We hit it when it was at 3%. We locked in our rate, and we just refinanced our house. And that's how long-term we're saving money. Long-term, in 15 years, we will not have that debt. I'm 38, so I'm going to be able to enjoy the whole retirement process without having a mortgage. So the extra $766 a month for my mortgage when I'm in my beautiful prime will be for fun money, for us to travel, for, just anything that we want. So I hope this was helpful. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope I was able to show you how I paid off my debt. It's all a lot to take in. If you guys would like to see my breakdowns every paycheck and continue to follow my journey, please give it a thumbs up and comment below, because if you didn't like the video, then I'm not going to make another one. If you want any of the stickers from my shop to help you start your process, whether it be these stickers or cash envelopes, I have a variety of cash envelopes. This just happens to be one of my coupon cash envelopes from my grocery store. That will be linked below also. And I want to say thank you, everybody, for their continued support on my Instagram page and for always clicking my links. $3, I wish. 3 cents does actually, it adds up over time. And that $25 I make a month or $50 I make a month from my Instagram, I put right towards my debt. And I've been doing giveaways lately with a couple of my Instagramming friends in the coupon community just to give back. So please give it a like, a comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. I don't mind sharing any of this with you. I'm just not sharing like what my husband brings in. So comment below if you want a more in-depth, every paycheck I can update you. At the beginning of the month, I can show you how I set up my debt tracker and my monthly tracker. When I start doing sinking funds, I can show you how to do that. When I start doing cash related stuff, because like your categories like groceries, gas, and all that can be cash, so that you can actually see how much you still have left over in your envelope and you don't go over that way. But right now I'm trying not to handle cash that much, and honestly I never carried cash to begin with. So let me know if you have any other questions or if you want to see anything else, and thanks for watching.